Hi, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amberlicious.
We are Untitled Nerd Network. This is our review of Kong Skull Island. You know, I was just thinking about, we've always done all of our videos in one take.
Well, yeah.
You know, I don't think we've
How
ever
else do you do that?
royally screwed up so badly
That we needed to stop it and start over?
So, I mean,
No, I don't think that's ever happened.
that might be part of our organic appeal. Welcome to the Organic Nerd Network. That would have been a good name.
Organic Nerd Network.
Yeah, if we ever rebrand, that's what it's going to be.
Organic?
Yeah, organic.
Because we're homegrown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get behind it.
Anyway. You know, this movie is about
Was awesome.
It's about a giant ape on an island. The end.
Oh, right.
There was a little bit more of that. Okay, let's just go ahead and call this what it is. Avengers 2.5. I mean, really, I didn't realize how many freaking Marvel Cinematic Universe actors were in this.
Right.
Okay, the obvious one is Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
Brie Larson. We got
Yes.
Captain Marvel. So we have Nick Fury. We have Captain Marvel. We have Loki.
Loki. It took us
And
to watch 3/4 of the movie
Yeah.
to figure out it was Loki.
well, he looked different without black long hair.
Yeah,
and he was kind of rough looking.
Well,
you know?
here's the thing. It was the eyes and the voice.
Yes.
I was just like, man, he looks familiar.
He
I
really.
know we've seen him somewhere, and I just didn't say anything. I was just hanging out, minding my business. I thought maybe I was crazy. I don't know. And then it was fucking Loki. And I was like, damn it, Lonnie, you're right.
Okay, so John Goodman was in this. Of course, he's not
An Avenger,
part of the
obviously.
MCU. And then we had John C. Reilly. And John C. Reilly is actually part of the MCU because he's one of the Nova Corps in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, he is.
And so, you know what? There could be one or two more scattered in there somewhere, like minor characters that I didn't recognize, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. So, I mean, holy crap. Not only that, but this, even if it would have been like different actors, if they would have had the same kind of performances, this was a damn good movie.
It really was.
I'm talking from the very beginning all the way to the after credits scene. This was a fantastic movie.
It was, set right when they'd left Vietnam, And then, it also had a fucking killer soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because of the era it was set in.
Yep. They
great.
spared no expense.
Yeah.
They did a really good job on this movie. The effects were fantastic. And not only, here's the thing, and, this isn't the last time I'm going to brag about it, but this movie needs to be seen on a 4K TV of at least 60 inches for you to get the full effect. We're watching it.
Because I told you, there's a handful of movies I've seen over the years, and I think, God damn, I should have went and saw it in theaters. This was one of them.
This was close, though. We had a really good experience with this.
It's
seriously, if you can't go to the movie theater, this is the absolute best experience that you can get.
It's next, right under the theater.
Yeah.
It's not just as good.
In this age of COVID.
Yeah.
This
came out way before COVID.
Yeah, this came out in 2017, which also was before a lot of these actors worked together.
Isn't it strange how they all met, here and then later on?
I bet there's some other movies a lot of them were into. I feel like I saw advertisements for a movie where there were 5 or 6 people, kind of like this one. And I was like, holy crap, all of them were in that movie too. I need to watch it. And then I've not really thought about it.
Right.
But I'll have to go back on IMDb and look up Brie Larson or somebody. And I'm happy I haven't called her Brie Olson during this. Yeah.
I'm glad you hadn't either.
But,
in a way.
I've gotten better about it. But yeah, so they, John Goodman and this other dude, they are trying to get to the island because they know some stuff, but you don't know that you kind of know that they know stuff, But they're not right out open with it.
Here's the thing. They're not open with it completely. They're just kind of vague about it.
Yeah.
And because they're kind of vague about it, no one takes them seriously.
Yeah.
Because there's a good reason they're being vague about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, them coming out and being like, oh, there's giant monsters on the island. I'm sure they would have really been taken seriously.
Right.
But yeah,
Or they would have fucked it up. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, there's monsters? Well, let's just destroy the whole thing.
The movie takes place in 1974, right after the Vietnam War came to a close, and Samuel L. Jackson is like a high-ranking Army guy who is he's just dead set on making up for the failures of Vietnam. And so he's, after they show up at the island and, all their choppers get taken out and a bunch of their people get killed, he's suddenly like Ahab with the whale and is wanting to go kill Kong.
That is the best analogy for this. Ahab and the whale.
Yeah, so that was a really neat little subplot because it didn't work out for him in the end. Spoilers.
Right.
So that you've got I'm tempted to just call them Captain Marvel and Loki. They
running around.
Yeah, they end up, and it's funny because okay, so Kong does develop like I'm not going to call it a bond, but an understanding with Brie Larson's character.
She showed him
compassion,
humanity, and compassion. Of course, that's my favorite part.
Which is the exact same thing happening in Godzilla that you pointed out.
That's where we see the human side of Kong.
Yep.
The tenderness in his eyes and stuff because somebody showed him compassion. And he realized, which, he was already protecting the tribe that was on the island anyway. But he also, once he bonded with her, it really showed, hey, okay, not all these humans are bad.
Yeah.
And that also, because he showed his human side, that gave them the instinct to protect him from Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Because even his soldiers were just like, man, we just want to go home. And he, they knew that the scientists were right, and they knew that their captain was kind of losing it.
We had so many good characters that got killed off in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you really cared about just about... If they had a name in this movie, you gave a shit about them. They did a really good job of making you care about the characters.
Right.
Before they inevitably got eaten alive.
You got to see them before they got to the island. You got to see their bond with each other as soldiers.
And it was entertaining.
It was realistic.
What? I gotta... Okay, so I mean, your basic premise, they land on the island. They have to make it to the north side of the island for evac before, a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Samuel L. Jackson's trying to kill Kong. But if they kill Kong, this giant monster is going to rise up out of the ground because
Monsters.
because Kong's the only thing keeping them in place.
Yeah.
And so, but they eventually take care of everything. The mean people die. And then at the very end in the after credits scene, the characters played by Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston end up joining Monarch, which is the same group from Godzilla. Yeah. So, we're starting to kind of, and, they're like, oh, there's some more monsters, and they start showing them all these different monsters like Godzilla. The only ones I really recognized were Kong, Godzilla, and Mothra. I don't know what that big multi-headed Hydra-looking thing is.
What you said, Hydra.
Is it actually called Hydra? Yeah. I thought it was called something else in the Marvel.
I'm pretty sure it's...
I don't know.
No.
Yeah, you probably need to look it up, because I don't recall it ever being called Hydra.
I'm pretty certain that's what it was called.
I think it's called something like Monsterzilla or something.
Shut up, Lonnie.
Anyway, it's like multi-headed monster in the monster universe, I guess. But yeah, holy crap! It's
Titans. They're Titans. They're not. That's just what they're called.
Well, they've not called them Titans yet.
Whatever.
Anyway. 2 movies in. I mean, hell, at the end of the first MCU movie, they at least had the decency to have Nick Fury say the Avengers Initiative. They haven't called these things Titans, and they call it the Monsterverse. They don't call it the Titanverse.
Shut up. Monsterverse Titans is what it fucking says.
Anyway. But yeah, this is we watched this on HBO Max, and so we're doing this in preparation for, what is it, Kong versus Godzilla versus Kong, whatever that, one of the ways, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking for it.
I mean, it's,
well,
I would think that it would be just as simple as doing this.
Okay, Lonnie, why didn't you just do it?
Multi-headed monster in the Monsterverse.
Well, I didn't look at it like that, okay?
According to Gojipedia, fandom, King Ghidorah, also dubbed Monster Zero, Titanus Ghidorah, or just simply Ghidorah, is a giant extraterrestrial three-headed dragon daikaija created by Legendary Pictures that first appeared in the 2019 film, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, as its main
So that's going to be the main antagonist of the next movie, Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Oh, I knew that.
I didn't.
Yeah, I did know that much.
Spoiler alert. And I hope that Google explanation came through on the microphone. I tried to hold it up to where it would. We'll see. But anyway, it's Ghidorah. Ghidorah, Tetanus, Titan.
They're all Titans.
Tight-ass Ghidorah. Anyway.
Tight-ass Gamora. Anyway.
Gamora, speaking of, I was watching Avatar today, and I forgot that Zoe Saldana is freaking the main woman in Avatar.
She is. I forgot about that.
And then I looked it up, and there's all these articles going on because apparently Avatar got a special re-release in theaters over in China, and it made just enough money to make it the new leader ahead of Endgame. And everybody's like, oh, Avatar, that's wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then I've read another article that's like, you know what? Zoe is kind of like laughing all the way to the bank on this because she's in both movies.
Right. I bet she is.
She's the only person in both movies. And so, like, she's kind of a hot thing right now. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, this movie, this whole universe as a whole. Do you have a favorite kill? Like, do you have a favorite death
in here
that was just neat in this movie? Because I have a favorite.
Yes, and it was when Kong was fighting one of the monsters, and it was trying to eat Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Out of the hand, and he yanked its guts.
Oh, so when he killed the monster.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That was awesome.
That was creepy.
He yanked its tongue, and it took its guts out and everything, and killed it.
Yeah. So it was interesting in this part, like, because like Brie Larson's character falls down like
into the water.
Godzilla throws the monster against the mountain, and when he does, it knocks her off into the water. And she almost drowns. Well, after he knocks the monster out, he reaches down in the water. Kong does, picks her up, and he's got her like in his hand like this. Mm-hmm. And so the monster pops back up.
Well, no, it's a different monster. See, he bashed that other one in the head. And this one was a different monster, and it wrapped its tongue around his arm.
Yeah, and his arm goes all the way down its throat.
It into his throat. And then he just went...
Now, keep in mind, this is the same hand that
Brie Larson
she is in,
yes.
And it goes all the way down his throat, and he like pulls it up and kills it. My favorite, and this is messed up, but my favorite kill in this whole movie was when the dude was going to sacrifice himself. Okay, so like, what happens?
That's what it was.
What happens is this dude, like everybody, the monster's like coming at him, and this dude's like, it's all right, y'all, I got this. And he pulls pins out of 2 grenades, goes up like this, and is just waiting on the monster
like, come on,
to run up to him. And so the monster runs up, stops for a second, and instead of eating him, slaps him with his tail all the way across the island into the side of a mountain, and the dude explodes. I was like, that is the greatest kill in like any monster movie I've ever seen. Now, granted, this is only like the third monster movie I've ever seen. Like, the extent of my monster movie viewing is this movie, the last Godzilla movie, and the Godzilla movie that they released in like 1999.
Right.
The one with Matthew Broderick. I went and saw that in theaters. And I thought it was a decent movie, all things considered.
Here,
and then
lizard.
Yes, that's exactly. And so, I mean, I thought it was a decent movie. And in my opinion...
That's a decent movie. I like it.
Yeah, but it's a favorite of people to tear apart.
Of course.
It was like, Godzilla was a decent movie until the internet got a hold of it. And everybody's like, oh, it sucks. Just like, I think Star Wars Episode 1 was a great movie until the internet got a hold of it and said that it was garbage.
Right.
Because hell, even me and you went and saw the 3D version. While the 3D wasn't really that great, it was still a good movie to go see in the theaters. Yeah. So
the 3D was a waste of money, but it's still cool to go.
Yeah, like if they were to release episodes 2 and 3, as much as I don't care for episode 2, I would go see it tomorrow.
I sure fucking will.
You know? I mean, granted, I'd think twice about it because of COVID, but if they released it in about 2 weeks after our vaccines take effect, you know, then I might. Right. I might throw a mask on and go see a movie in a socially distanced theater.
That sounds great, actually. But anyway.
But yeah, this movie, what do you give this movie?
I'm going to give this movie 11.
Yeah, 11. Good. 11 across the board.
Freaking
I'm not even
awesome.
Not even going to hesitate.
Thought it was going to be good, and I was pleasantly surprised at how much better it was.
This movie was head and shoulders above the last one, Godzilla.
Absolutely. And last one was good, man.
No, the last one was a good movie. This movie did not
right
have...
now, this one's my favorite.
Oh, easily. This movie did not have a single dead spot.
It didn't.
Like, you know, a lot of movies will have kind of like a...
Like I said, like, even when they were on their way there and they were on the naval craft carrier and everybody was hanging out and having a good time and, you know... What's her name? Captain Marvel's taking all the pictures of the people and stuff, and
I'll go ahead and tell you, John C. Reilly was the star of the second act of this movie.
He did steal the show, didn't he?
He was, and we haven't talked enough about him. Well, actually, we haven't hardly talked about him at all. But John C. Reilly is a character. They show up in 1974. He's been there 28 years, since towards the end of World War II. Yeah. He was the only survivor of a ship that crash landed there. Well, no, he had a buddy, and then his buddy died.
Right. He's the one we saw at the beginning of the movie, though. We learned that.
Yes.
Like, at the beginning of the movie, we see him and that other dude fighting. And that's where he got the sword.
It was neat, though, because we actually got to see... I lost my train of thought on that.
Him reunited with his family.
Yes. Yes,
that nearly brought tears to my eyes. It was so intense. It was so sweet.
The ending was amazing.
That kind of stuff will get me every time.
It wasn't a post-credits scene. It was like It
was just like...
It was like, you know how like whenever they start credits and then they'll show like a little inset video going while the credits are rolling. It was one of those, and it was in the style of like a
home movie.
An old, what is it, a 8mm home movie.
Yeah.
And so you know, he goes and he sees his son, who is like almost 30 at this point.
Yeah, and his wife,
he sees his wife, and you could tell that, you know, they have been waiting on him. You know, that kind of thing, and
they couldn't believe he actually showed up, and it was just.
That made it very pleasant, because honest to God, because, you know, once the credits started rolling, I was thinking, you know, we're not going to see what happened. You know, there's probably going to be like, they're going to allude to it, you know, in the next movie or something. We got to see it. And I honest to God thought that if they did show it, that it wasn't going to be that way, that she was going to be remarried or something, you know, and it was just going to... But no, it wasn't.
She never moved on, and it was just... Military reuniting videos will get me every time. I'm just a little partial to that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but I don't.
Yeah, I know.
Not me.
But you know what really gets me is the animals when they reunite with their animals after being gone. Oh my god!
I get that more. You know the videos that really just tug at my heartstrings?
What?
Where he's like, "You're not the father," and the dude starts running around screaming and shit. Anyway, that's it for this review. I hope y'all have a good rest of the day. I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amberlicious.
We are Untitled Nerd Network. This has been Kong Skull Island's review. Next is going to be Godzilla King of the Monsters. Can't wait. That's going to be a good one. We'll see y'all next time.